Yo, what be the drip, YouTube? It's your boy Zack, and I'm back with Zack Reacks, and today we got a long ass video. This is Smooth Card Control Tutorial by Cardtricks. Shout out Derek, man. Magiki and Gee, we just heard his, open verse challenge for Def. Now we getting into this card control. He just uploaded this. I don't know if I reacted to the last one, but this video is long as fuck, so we better get into this shit. And I appreciate the love and support. We reached 140 subs today, and we're on the road to 150, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are here to stay. And if y'all don't like my reactions, get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But we here for it. Let's get right into it. Hold up. We gotta do that intro one more time, man. That intro's fucking fire. Has Jay posted anything? I gotta see if Jay has. Hold up, is this not a normal Cardtricks 8 video? Bro. Bro, that's fire. Those cards look great too. Dope cuts. There's no Kindmaster in the corner. We reaching a new era of Cardtricks 8, man. That was cool.
What is going on, guys? It is Cardtricks 8 here. Welcome back to
I love that sweatshirt, by the way.
The channel. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you that really awesome control that you just saw in the intro to this video. It's not super difficult to learn. If you have some experience with sleight of hand, I think you'll find this relatively easy with just a little bit of practice. If you're a beginner and you're new to sleight of hand, this will definitely be a little bit knacky to learn, but
I got you. Hold up. Where is it? Is it in my bag? Probably, because that's where I put everything. Haha. My new SpongeBob Fontaine playing cards. We about to do this shit with him. I'm fucking excited, bro. I'm fucking excited. Let's fucking get it. Hold up. Let me put my headphones back on. All right. Let's do it.
I really think with some practice you can get this down. This has become one of my favorite controls as of late. It just looks super clean. Let me show you guys once again what the control looks like. We can have a card selected from the center of the deck here. Let's say we're gonna go with this card. In this case, we have the 2 of hearts. Now, of course, you could have selected any card from the deck, but we'll go ahead, take the card, lose it somewhere there in the center of the pack, just as so. But in that action, the card already comes right back to the top.
Okay.
So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the tutorial. Alright guys, hopefully you stuck around for the tutorial. So
yes.
Before we get into the mechanics here, one thing that I want to
Yes, I did stick around for the tutorial.
Make clear is this is not one of those moves that you really need in your arsenal. It's not necessary, and part of that is due to its practicality. Essentially, what's actually happening with this control is you're taking one of the most basic controls in card magic history and making it harder on yourself and doing more work to accomplish the same exact thing. I'm going to be completely upfront with you. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Hey, that's fair. At least he's honest. But hey, if someone can make this shit into a cool production, then I think it could be fire.
So, I guarantee almost every single one of you know this control. We have the Queen of Hearts. We're I'm gonna take that card, place it somewhere in the center of the deck, just as so. Snap my fingers, and the card comes right back on top. Now, of course, I bet you 99% of you know
that's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Exactly how that's done. All you're doing is you're doing a double lift, meaning you're flipping over 2 cards as one. So I'm showing the 8 of diamonds when in reality we have a second card behind. Flipping the double back over, taking that card, what appears to be the 8 of diamonds, is actually in a different card. Put it in the middle, push it in, boom, it's back on top. That's a very easy, very basic control, but hey, you know what? It actually works. It looks good for lay audiences. Now, this control that I'm about to teach you, here's the brief overview. You're doing a double lift.
Okay.
Taking both cards, placing them in the middle while retracting the selected card into a Tenkai palm, placing it back on top as you push the card in, and boom, now it's back on top.
Hold up. You just did a Tenkai that quick? Hold up.
Both controls accomplish the same exact thing. In fact, again, keep this in mind, we mainly perform for lay people. We don't often perform for other magicians, right? Yeah. I guarantee you, learn this control, right? Just take the time to learn this. Get a friend of yours. Show them both of these controls. Don't even do a trick. Just show them the controls. Be like, okay, look. We'll take the Queen of Diamonds. We'll place it somewhere in the center of the pack.
Facts.
Snap my fingers. The card comes right back to the top.
Facts.
Right? Let's use the Queen of Diamonds again to keep it consistent. Then show them this control. All right, so look, we have the Queen of Diamonds. We'll take the card, place it somewhere in the center of the pack, as you can see. And snap my fingers. It comes right back to the top. They're gonna look at you and tell you you just did the same exact thing twice. Because to a layperson, the methods again and the slides don't matter. They just saw you take a card, put it in the middle, and jump to the top.
You see, when he... Hold up, let me fix this shit. I might not help. I might not do it with him. I don't know yet. I don't know why my camera's acting like a bitch right now. Hold up. It's because I moved it. Bro, I don't know if he did. Like, when I first saw him doing it, I had a feeling that it was the same as the double lift control, but I saw there was a little bit of a slip in there. I didn't know what he was doing, but I think this could be smoother. I think this could be smoother than a double lift control if done correctly and if practiced.
To ordinary lay spectators, these two controls are the same exact thing.
Ordinary lay spectators? I don't know what lay means. Lay means not magic, like muggle.
Hence why learning this control isn't really necessary, because again, you're doing extra work to accomplish the same exact thing. The only real difference here and why this control might be worth learning, one, it looks incredibly clean when performed to perfection. So it's one of those things that's just fun to perfect and fun to practice. But two, when it comes to a lot of magic, in particular with this basic control, you know, you do the double lift. So again, it's 2 cards as one. You flip the 2 cards over and you place what appears to be their card in the center. What you're doing right here is you're playing with the spectators' assumptions. They assume this is the 2 of hearts, and they're convinced this is the 2 of hearts. Obviously, you're a step ahead. It's on top of the deck. So that control is a lot like really all of magic. You're playing with your spectators' assumptions, right?
See, that's fact. He's spitting true fact right now. A lot of magic is you playing with what they see or what they think in their head is gonna happen. That's the whole point of magic, is you gotta persuade the person you're showing magic to that this shit is the same as this shit, and then you throw that twist at the end. You know what I'm saying? But
with this control that I'm about to teach you, there is less assumption with this. It's somewhat more convincing, because now, rather than them just assuming that's their card, with this one, you're actually, or I should say the spectator rather, is actually getting that image. They're getting the image of their card. They can see.
That's why I'm saying it could look more smooth if it's done correctly, because when he's doing that double like this, and he's taking the card and he's showing it like this, they're seeing the card go in like that. And then you peel it away with Tenkai. I don't know how the fuck he's gonna do that. And then, see?
See their card at this point, and they can see it go inside of the deck. They're seeing it happen. So this isn't just assumed.
Alright, I see kind of what he did. So he had a double, right? And he picked it up, and he showed it was the Queen of Spades. Yes, I have SpongeBob playing cards. So he showed the Queen of Spades. He showed it go into the deck like this. I don't know how he's doing it lefty, but he slid out the bottom card into Tenkai. And then he pushed this card in and placed this card on top. Just like that. I feel like I would need more practice, but that's a similar way. Like, I need to do it right-handed because why not, you know? Take it, slide it, boom, boom. That's basically it. Let me show you that one more time. So what he's doing is he's double lifting, which is easy, and he's taking that double lifted card here, and what he's doing is he's kind of hiding it in his hands while he puts it in, so then that way he can take that bottom card, slide it out, hold it in the Tenkai, push this in, boom. Yeah.
They know for 100% that's their card because they just saw you place it in the deck, right? It's that simple. But again, you're a step ahead now. So again, in a sense, yes, you're still playing with their assumptions because they assume that that's their card. But this is less assumption and more, okay, they saw it happen. So visually, this one is slightly more powerful. But
yes, that's facts.
Again, at the same time, you show both of these to the same person, they're going to tell you it's the same exact thing, I guarantee you. So again, not necessary, I'm just being upfront with you. But I hope that doesn't deter you from learning this because again, it's super fun and I think you guys will at least get some enjoyment out of it. Keep in mind too, you know, different situations call for a different sleight. So it can never ever hurt. There is zero negative into learning new techniques, new sleights.
Yes, yes, that's total facts too because sometimes depending on who you're showing or which situation you're in, you might just want to show the normal your card, place it in the middle, and then your card's on top. That's the normal. And then there might be some situations when you need to be like a little more slidey with it maybe. You know, take it out, boom, Tenkai, and then boom. I need to practice obviously, and he'll give us tips. But man, no more explaining. Let's get right into the video or the tutorial.
Because at the end of the day, they can always help you out in different situations with your card magic, all right? So, before we get into, well, not before we get into it, but really there are two prerequisites that you want to be familiar with before diving into this control. One is the double lift, meaning you're flipping over two cards as one. That's a pretty common one. Basic beginner move, beginner concept rather, because there are some advanced versions of the double lift, but you should all know how to do a double lift by now. And then also, in addition to the double lift, you want to become...
Which is facts. Y'all should all know how to do it if y'all are Magic fans.
Some advanced versions of the...
Why am I going back? Don't go back, J-Busy. It's a long video. I just call myself fucking J-Busy. I must be higher than a bitch right now.
Lift, but you should all know how to do a double lift by now. And then also, in addition to the double lift, you want to be comfortable holding a card in what is called Tenkai palm, which looks a little something like this. You're holding on the long edges by the thumb and the inside of your hand just as so. Okay?
Yeah, that's Tenkai. That's Tenkai. From front, it looks like nothing's there, you see? If I had my hand normal, it looks like nothing is there. He does it a little bit differently, but that sort of like, if I have it normal like this, I feel like it's poking out a little bit because of the camera, but it depends on the angle. It's all about angles.
Okay. If you're not comfortable with holding the card in Tenkai palm, just get used to holding the card in this position and look in front of a mirror too. Learn how to angle your hand so you can hold this card in this position without flashing it, okay? Now, whether you're comfortable with Tenkai palm already or not, here's what I want you to practice before diving into this move. Really practice holding the cards like this and retracting it in your hand into a Tenkai palm like this. So you're starting here, you have your thumb at the back toward the upper corner and your four fingers along the front, and you're just retracting the card back into the hand into a Tenkai palm like this. You want to practice this motion. All that's happening when you do this is your middle finger is essentially doing all the work. Your middle finger is pushing back on the card and it's pivoting off the thumb right here. So it's really the middle finger and the thumb. You can see it pivots. And naturally, just try this without even thinking about it. What you're going to notice is when you do this, when you pivot the card back, it naturally turns from this vertical state into this horizontal state. Just naturally, it'll happen. Try it out for yourself. So once you retract it into this position, what you want to do is now use this index finger to kind of push the card back slightly. So rather than holding it here, just kind of push it back ever so slightly. Once you're here now, you're just going to re-grip the thumb. So you extend the thumb out onto the edge and now you're in a Tenkai palm. So again, you're here, the middle finger pulls back, it pivots off the thumb, so now it goes vertical to horizontal, push the card back ever so slightly with the index finger, re-grip, and now you're in Tenkai palm. So you want to just be comfortable with learning how to do this very, very quickly, all right? That's all it is. Once you're comfortable with that.
Bro, I think I'm getting it. Hold up. Yeah, you see what I did? I slid it and just adjusted. I feel like that push with the index is not necessarily needed because my hands are big, so I have big enough hands to just slide it back and change my thumb. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's like from here to here should be just a flick. From here to here should be they shouldn't even see it. So from here, I don't know how he slides it off though, cause like he puts it in here and then he's just. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's sliding it like this. So he goes, and then he slides this in. Boom. But, oh, okay. Alright, but yeah, just boom to Tenkai. Easy.
Then you can really start to get into the move itself here. So, go ahead and grab yourself.
I think that's an interesting idea, doing the magic in front of his TV, because he can see what he's doing. That's fire.
Deck of cards, and let's just get into it. So for starters, you're going to have a card selected, and you need to get the card in a position where you're in a double lift. So you can go about this in a number of different ways. You can dribble the cards, have someone call out stop. From here, just cut the cards where they said stop, and then just do a double lift off the top to show this is the card they stopped at. You can do that. If you want, you can just say here, go ahead and touch the back of any card as you spread through. Say they touch this card right here. Same exact thing. Just cut to where they say stop and then execute a double lift. Okay, so same thing. You can do what I did in the demonstration earlier if you know how to. I'm not going to go in depth with this, but you can have someone call it stop as you riffle through and just take a center double lift, which looks a little something like that. You can do that. Or this is actually what I would recommend you do. Have someone pick a card so they can take the card out themselves. They can hold it. They can look at it. In this case, we have the 8 of diamonds. And while they're looking at the card, this is perfect misdirection for you to just kind of drop your hands down to the side real quick. You're just going to thumb this card off. Hopefully the camera can pick this up. But just drop your hands to your side and just thumb the card over against your body and use it as a lever to flip it over on top of the deck. You can push over, catch a break at this point, and just keep your hands down by your side. No one will see this happen because they're all focused on the card they just selected. You can take the card back and then just place it on top of the deck as you turn, making sure not to flash that card. And now you're in a double lift position ready for the control. So nevertheless, get into a double lift position any way that you can upon a card being selected. And you can really do this any way that you want to. So once you're in a double lift position, let's say the 8 of diamonds will be the selected card for tutorial purposes, okay?
In mine is the pirate from the SpongeBob intro. So let's get into it.
So you're here, you have a break on the 2 cards here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come from the back, use your thumb, just lift up on both cards. This will give you easy access to pick up both cards just like this. So you're holding both cards as I showed you earlier when I told you to practice retracting the card at the Tenkai palm like this with the 4 fingers at the front and the thumb at the back toward the corner. You're holding now just the cards in the same exact way. Only difference is now you're holding 2 cards instead of 1. Okay, that's the only difference. So you're holding the cards in this position. And essentially, you're doing the same exact thing that I just told you to get comfortable with. I'll even take the deck out of the picture. Let's just focus on the 2 cards for now, okay? Holding it in this position. What's happening is you're taking that front card and retracting it, just like this, but still holding this card in the same place. Now, again, if you're familiar with Tenkai Palm and this motion, I think with a little bit of practice, you'll find this to be pretty easy. I didn't actually find this to be too difficult. That didn't take me too much time to learn.
Facts. I feel like I'm getting it already, kind of. Like, you bring it back. I feel like it's kind of like a start to the, the flick change that they do where they go like this and then they flick it like that. I feel like it's a start to that. But instead of flicking, you're just bringing it down. Hold on, I messed that up. You're just bringing it down and putting it in Tenkai, just like that. It's already in my Tenkai. And then I can hold this card freely, just like this. You know what I'm saying?
Again, if you're a beginner, this might be a little knacky, but you'll get it with a little bit of practice. You're essentially doing two things at once. You're sticking both of these cards in the deck as you retract the selected card into Tenkai Palm. So that's what's happening. So essentially, again, with the deck out of the picture, it would look like this. That's what's happening. In fact, you can do that if you want to practice. Take the deck out of the picture and just use your hand. Put the cards in your hand, take this card, and retract the other one back into Tenkai Palm. So you're doing two things at the same time. Again, you're placing the cards in and retracting one card into Tenkai. So this is something you can practice too. Practice holding the two cards and just pulling the one card back while keeping this one.
Hold up, that was dope. So I didn't know the turning motion that he did. So when he did the double lift and he picked this up, he showed like a turn motion like this to put it in the deck, and then you do it. And then that, I feel like that gives it more. Oh, bro. How do I put it in at the same time though? That's the question. Because if I have it down and I'm doing it, it's going to go in. But I want it to go in kind of first before I take this out. Show that it goes in. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
On stationary. Just practice doing this. Keep practicing this motion. Again, it's the same thing. You're using the middle finger. The middle finger is doing the work. The middle finger is pulling the card back into this Tenkai. And now, as you grip this card, you can re-grip this hand into Tenkai Palm just like this. Okay?
Yeah.
So, again, you're here. 4 fingers at the front, thumb at the back. Keep it toward that top corner. Pretend it's going in the deck. Use the fingers now to pull this card back. So this is what's happening. You're pulling it back. And you can see how this is on an angle. So they'll still be able to see this card, but if you're angling your hands correctly, they won't be able to see this card because your hand is providing all the cover. This goes in, and now you have plenty of time to pull this hand away and re-grip into Tenkai. And what's great about this is the misdirection is perfect because you're going in like this. So everyone's going to be focused on this card going in the deck. No one's really looking over here. No one's going to see what's going on behind the scenes over here. So now you're just applying that.
Okay.
Into the deck now. So what you're doing here is you have the 4 cards, again, 4 fingers, thumb at the top, riffle it somewhere into the center. So you're placing both cards into the center of the deck just like this. But now, this card is sitting inside of the deck while you retract this card. So again, middle finger's pulling back right here. All the attention's right there on the card going in the deck. So now you're here, and now you just pull this hand away, re-grip, and what I like to do is I like to point. I point to this card here to kind of give me a justification for why I'm holding my hand in the way that I'm holding it. Because think of it this way logistically. If I do the control, I come here like this, and I just pull my hand away and I'm holding it like this, this is unnatural, this looks weird.
Yes, that looks strange. It looks like you're kind of a retard.
You want to have a motivation for, having your hand kind of curled up like this.
Yeah.
So think about it. If you're not holding a card in your hand, how do you point to things? Like this, right? You point like this without having cards. You close your fist except for your index finger, and then,
what's interesting is you can kind of close it. If you get the angle right, you can close it and point at something like, you see? And if I have the right angle, you guys can't see that. I'm pointing. But the card is still in Tenkai.
Occasionally your thumb, right? So this is how you point to things. So
this is how you point to things. Thanks for letting us know.
That's the motivation. You're pulling back, and now you're pointing. So it literally looks the same exact way. The only difference now is I'm just secretly holding a card in my hand, but it's literally the same exact hand motion. So
yeah.
Use the pointing of the card with your patter to justify why your hand is in this balled up motion. Again, if you just do this,
I don't like
keep your hand stationary.
I noticed that I'm doing it right now. As you see me, I'm practicing. I like practicing while they're doing these, and then as he's bringing it, see, I have to keep readjusting that bottom card. I don't know how to keep that shit straight. Derek, I need help. Derek, I need help. I need help, Derek. How do I get... So I have it here. I riffle down. I put it in the deck, and I grab the Tenkai. Then I point. I have to adjust this. This is sideways right now. I have to adjust this straight and then push it down. Like, maybe, I don't know.
Right here, curled up like this, looks very, very unnatural, very suspicious. It's a dead giveaway. So really utilize the pointing of the finger to justify why your hand is curled up like this. It looks so much more natural that way, all right? So you're pointing to the card. You have the card here in that Tenkai palm. Because notice that Tenkai can be here with the fingers open or with the fingers closed. It's the same exact thing, okay? So you're pointing, and now to finish the control, all you're gonna do is come over to the top of the deck. You're gonna extend the fingers out again. You're gonna place this card on top as you push this card in. And then I like to add a little riffle. Not necessary, but I like to add the little riffle at the end. And the control is done. That's essentially all there is to it. So let's look at it again here, okay? So again, any means necessary, get into a double lift position here. I'll do a center double for this case. So I have the 4 of spades here. Again, now I'm in a double lift position. So I can now take this 4, riffle down the deck here, again holding by the 4 fingers in the front and the thumb at the back. Place these 2 into the deck like this. Now take the middle finger and curl the card back into the hand, into Tenkai palm as you place this in. Once the card is free, make sure you regrip it to Tenkai, and now use the index finger to point as you take your hand away to justify why your hand is curled up the way it is. Come over to the top, extend the fingers out as you place this on top, and push this card in simultaneously. Riffle if you want, and now the card is on top of the deck. So one more time, let's take a look at it in full speed so you really get the idea of what it should look like, okay? So we have the Jack of Hearts. Place it somewhere in the center of the deck right there. Push it in, and now it is on top of the deck. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a simple explanation. Again, it's a little knacky at first, but I really think with some practice, you guys will all get this down. Please, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. I will answer them all to the best of my ability. And I'm genuinely curious. Please do leave a comment. Do you see yourself ever using this?
Okay, well, he's gonna see all my comments. Shout out Cardtricks8 for a dope card control. I really do feel like it's smooth. And I want to kind of show y'all with the main camera here without the small reaction camera. He got into a double. He picked it up. He's showing you going into the deck. And then he Tenkais while pointing. Then he comes around and places that on top while pushing it in. Does that. It's sort of the same thing. I just don't know how to fix myself from readjust. Derek, you said if I have any questions to let you know. So when you're in this position and you're riffling and you're putting it in and then you're moving this, how do you reposition this card? Because I don't want all this movement here. I want it to be smooth. So I have the ace, I put it in, I slide it out into Tenkai, and I point. Now, this, I had to readjust it when I pulled the ace out. Like, watch. Boom. Boom. I'm sliding it, but this 4 is getting messed up. See, it had to readjust, and then I point. I don't know how to fix that readjustment, so you'll have to let me know. But that was a dope ass tutorial, man. This guy knows what the fuck he's doing. And if y'all enjoyed this long ass video, then y'all better let me know, and I'll see y'all in the next reaction video. Always strong. Let's go.